Spirit, lead me where my feet could ever wander. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander. And my faith will be made stronger. You'd want to pray this prayer this morning. Ask the Spirit to lead you. To that place where your trust will know no borders. Good morning and welcome to Home Affairs. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Edem Night-Tay. To every weary soul and weary spirit this morning. Sometimes it's important to know that you're not alone. There's so many people facing what you're facing, going through what you're going through. Be comforted knowing that you're not alone in what you're dealing with. But if you can simply ask God for strength and ask the Spirit to lead you, you will be granted some strength to go on. Good morning and welcome one more time.
My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
Indeed, we have a very interesting conversation for you this morning. Remember, right from the beginning of the month of July, we have been going on with our singles series. And we will be crowning it with our singles summit on the 12th of August at the Best Western Hotel. I told you about it last week. Next week, we will announce all our speakers. We have a lot of reservations coming through already. Space is very limited, so you want to quickly make your reservation. 059-288-9986. Just send reservation, Single Summit, and we will reach out to you. If you're coming alone, you're coming to listen to nuggets of wisdom, and you're going to have very good breakfast, and your damage is only 150 Ghana cedis. But if you're two, plus breakfast and everything else is 250 cedis per. It'll be a very good place to network, to listen to godly and practical counsel, to help you on the journey. Our theme is becoming Mr. and Mrs. Becoming Mr. and Mrs. Don't worry, even if you're not seriously seeing anybody, you still want that information for yourself. If you're courting, you're dating, you're already in counseling, it's a place for you to be. 059-288-9986. 059-288-9986. That's where you want to send reservations, Single Summit to. But this morning, we have a very interesting conversation. We are asking you, what are you doing that you're not supposed to be doing whilst you're courting? It's interesting when Daniela and I had this conversation. A lot of issues came out. So is it okay that you're dating, you're not married yet, but you go, Friday, go and wear big t-shirts, you wear big slippers, and you be cooking and cleaning? You didn't see that coming, I bet. And doing all that, is it okay? So all the weekend that you are there, really, are you just cooking and cleaning? What else are you doing that you're not supposed to be doing whilst you're courting? And why are you not supposed to be doing it, though? You want to start confessing right now. 055-1111-997 is our WhatsApp line. 059-1111-997. Is it that we have moved away from, the whole idea of dating and courting before marriage, or it's just that times have changed such that the old traditional values that we used to hold on to, or that we have been taught and preached to, does not hold anymore? What are you doing that you are not supposed to be doing while you're not married yet? People have did it and done that. So why are you waiting for the marriage? Mama T is in the house. Mrs. Teresa, we are fair sighted. Good morning. I have seen you chill.
No, you have missed me.
I have. You and my international businesswoman of the world.
Of Ghana.
Ariel, the wellness coach.
Of Ghana.
Hey, I have missed the two of you, Papa.
Me too, I missed you.
Ariel, are you done with leave?
Yes, I'm done with
The leave was good for you. Like, you've become
looking
nomi like that.
fine.
Your
She's
cheeks
looking
are,
fine.
up there and everything. Hey,
She's been up to something we haven't seen.
I
Oh, are you
know.
sure? Oh, this one, I don't know where you saw it from.
It's
from
showing.
the spirit.
Oh,
Okay, wow. Then I think something is coming rather, maybe.
We will be prying. But good to have the two of you.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Kobe's sleep for the past 4 or 5 weeks on Saturday mornings hasn't been, like up to because
I've been here 5 weeks out of the last 6 weeks.
I know he's been here.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Done very well.
You see, that is what happens when you decide to go and live for 3 years.
I agree. You are.
Now he's paying.
So I'm paying my debt.
Yes,
you are.
I hear
you're
you.
paying everything, and we're happy to
Yeah,
have
well.
you. Thank you very much for coming. Good morning to every one of us. And Home Affairs is brought to us by Amasha Partners Limited and IK. Yum Vita, a delicious way to go. Dano Milk, choose tasty milk, choose nourishment, choose Dano Milk, go for it. And Sankofa Natural Spices, Didier. If I was asked to give a tagline to this, I would say, Me pemi bibia natural. I like that one, seriously. Okay, so Mama T, I'll start with you.
All right.
Mama T, you have been in counseling forever.
Oh.
Do you think people are doing things that they are not supposed to be doing whilst they are courting?
Yes, good morning again, Adam. Good morning to all of you who have missed me. I know you have all missed me, like even Ariel has missed me.
We all have.
I have missed myself. It's always a joy to be here, to all of you listening. Yes, we are doing a lot wrong. Things that we are not supposed to be doing. Today, I choose to be looking only at the red flags. For me, sitting at where I have been for a while, I noticed that the courtship is just both of us deciding to all things being equal, in the near future, get together as a couple.
But when you start courting, it means that you have gone through the I like you
yes.
stage.
Certainly.
We're dating,
Yes.
and then we're looking to move into the next
Yes.
stage, which is marriage, right?
So yes, we are both talking marriage now. All things being equal, you are talking marriage. So you are at the point where you are taking it gradually, studying more, getting more together, looking at each other much better. There's a scripture in Daniel 8 that I've always alluded to. Bible says that those who do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. My understanding of the scripture is that it is not every Christian who will be able to do exploits, except those who truly do know their God. So for me, knowing is knowledge, knowing is very, very important. So at courtship, yes, that is what you are doing. You are looking at a number of things. What you can take if this would eventually end as in a marriage, or if the things I am seeing are too much such that I have to walk away. So that is it. But at this point, we do too much that we are not supposed to do.
Okay, now let me bring the question to the other side. What are we okay, do we all agree that for the people we have encountered, Kobe and Ariel as well, the people we have encountered who are, talking marriage, are doing things that they are not supposed to do?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, so that one is settled. Now let's look first at what are they supposed to be doing, and the extra things they are doing that they are not supposed to be doing, and most importantly for me, the consequences of doing things that you're not supposed to be doing before marriage. So Mama T,
Yes.
what are they supposed to be doing?
What they are supposed to be doing is to be courting. And to be courting is that we are going steady, we are looking at marriage, and so we are looking at what to do to make it right. One of the things to do is to be talking a lot more. Is to be talking about relevant things, is to be talking into the future, is to be taking time to study each other quite well. I keep saying that if even you court for 10 years, you won't be able to know a person through and through, but still on it or at it, there are quite a number of things you will find out. And when you find those things out, don't throw them away or push them under the carpet. They come back eventually to disturb you. So yes, you should be talking more, you should be going out more, you should be, if you are Christians, you should be praying more, you should be doing a lot more things that are beneficial to you.
All right. Kobe, let me hear from Ariel and then I'll come to you. The ladies have sandwiched you today.
That's okay.
Well, for a relationship, when you are courting and you know that this courtship, you want it to lead to something, then your conversations, it's not just today. You should be talking about what you expect of the relationship. And some of the things you expect to talk about is even how many children you want to have. I think one of the things I never had the chance to talk about was how many children I wanted to have. And suddenly I realized we were not on the same page, because I wanted to have 3, and on my second one, it wasn't really what he was expecting at that time. So there are important conversations to have, as in how many children we are going to have. I mean, what kind of way are we going to live? What is the lifestyle we are going to live? And that is, what do we want to do when we have a home? Because what do we want to do when we live together? What are our expectations of each other? And also, it's important to talk money and know that your partner expects you to do this and you have to do that. Sometimes we leave some of these important conversations to when we are in the marriage. And when you are in the marriage,
It's too late.
it's too late. It's simply too late, because your partner, never expected you to think they have to do, this part and you do this part. And then in the midst of not knowing what to do, we start taking responsibilities that maybe it's not supposed to be for you. So sometimes the woman start becoming the man because she's doing the things the man is supposed to do. Or sometimes the man becomes the woman because he is also doing things the woman will have to do. So talking money, talking the number of children you're supposed to have, and not sacrificing your goals. It's important to talk about your goals when you're courting. What do you want to be doing? Because I've met a lot of women who are married now, who had dreams, who wanted to do things, and anytime it comes up in their marriage, it's to be put on the back burner. You can't. It's okay. Wait. Don't do it. But God created each and every one, either you're a man or a woman, with dreams, with goals, with talent. And without your occupational endeavors and fulfillments, there's a lack of satisfaction in your life. So that is also something that needs to be talked about. What are you all aspiring to do? Does the other person feel excited about the things you want to achieve on your own? Or they don't want you to go in that direction. So it's important to talk these 3 important things: your goals, what you want to come out to become as you move on in the marriage, what are we going to live like, what are our responsibilities here, and how many children are we looking at having, and how are we going to maintain that children to grow up satisfactory, to their satisfaction.
All right, great. Kobe?
So I would like to put this thing in context, because there's a blurry line between dating and courting.
Yeah.
Dating is when you are moving about. Courting is when you are settling down. When you are dating, you have options. When you are courting, you don't have options.
Okay. So we are talking courting.
We are talking courting.
Yes.
You settle down. At that point, it's about, can I make a future with this person?
Okay.
So you should be looking at, who am I and who is he or who is she? Those are the first things you want to settle.
It's not late in the day at that point.
No, you see, whilst you are dating, because there are options,
Okay,
there are things you may not.
Focused.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I said courting is when you are settling down.
Okay.
Because at that point, you've narrowed in on one person.
All right.
And now you are going to dig deep on the person. But you should
I
know
bab.
you yourself.
Yeah.
And once you know you yourself, you know who you can do the future with. The first things you are looking at are values.
Certainly.
What do I stand for? And what does the person stand for? Because those are fundamental.
Great.
And once you miss those, it is only disaster that is waiting to happen. So you're at that point, like Mama Tess said, you're having deeper conversations. And part of the things we don't talk about sex sometimes, especially if we are in the church setting.
Hey, why
And those of us who grew up in the church setting, we suffer a lot
Spiritual.
in the future.
Yeah.
The next thing is we don't talk about money
because you are carnal.
because you are carnal. So there are a lot of things that we were taught in church that they are carnal,
Oh, Jesus,
that
that's
we
life.
avoid.
Yeah.
But life has taught all of us that we are very human. And we have human needs. And as long as we live in this body, those things are relevant.
Sure.
And we avoid them and they come back to bite us. Then the third one is the issue of career and what will make you
Yeah.
and make you happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We should talk about them. I remember I was counseling once and I asked the lady, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? And she said she wants to be a lawyer.
Okay.
I said, are you doing or have you done anything that would lead you there? She said, no. It means it's something that is in a desire that she aspires for. But she's at the moment, it is not part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So if you are not having deeper conversations, it's not going to come up.
Okay.
So I asked the gentleman, do you know she wants to do this?
No.
And he had no clue. And yet, we were in counseling
For marriage.
for marriage. So it means we were almost 6 months away from the date. And I said, this is disaster waiting to happen. So if we don't deal with these issues, why do I want to get married? Is another question we don't ask.
Yeah.
And we find out that most people, especially the women, they always have a reason why they are getting married. And if you don't know the reason, it comes back to bite you. So you must have these conversations and ask these questions.
Okay. So from all the things I have written, I'm telling you, there's so much you have to be doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you decide to go through all of this is like what? A 6 months course outline.
Already.
Talk relevant things. And the relevant things are a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. from where you even want to live, when you want
Yeah.
to settle. Do you have intentions of traveling to go and work outside and all of those? It's a lot. You should discuss the future. You should even sometimes preempt things.
Yeah.
So what if
Yes.
we marry and then probably you lose your job? What if we marry
don't get
and maybe
the
this?
children.
You should be a bit preemptive so that there are so many things to be doing, right? I like this. It's a stage for discovery. Okay. And then you need to be praying more. If you're Christians or whatever it is that you believe in, then you will need to be consulting with that a bit more, because you will definitely need that supreme power. Now, and again, it came up, you should be talking more relevant, more important things.
Not that I love you,
In-laws,
I love you not.
children. Will somebody come and live with us? The issue of house helps,
Yeah.
nannies, all that. And also, power, I'm telling you. Usually when you're dating, like, my guests have said, sometimes, and Kobe said it right, if you haven't zeroed in yet and you haven't started talking deeper things, some of these things will not come. And that is why some of these conversations are very, very important. I mean, listening to shows like this.
And another
Very
important thing.
yeah.
Another important thing. In this part of the world, you don't marry an individual.
Yes.
You marry into a family.
thing.
So it is the time to look beyond the individual. Sometimes the individual is nice, the individual is good, the individual is probably everything you wish for. But when you look beyond the individual
Yeah.
to the immediate family and then the extended family,
You get a lot of
you
stuff.
realize that this is not where you should
The
be.
investigations we don't do
Yeah.
Exactly.
now. We don't. I love Ariel. She's nice. She's beautiful. So it's her. And then you forget that this one is coming from a family. Going back, and that's what our parents were doing.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
they will know that. Forgive
This is
my
a
word,
home.
This is a home where this thing runs
Goes
here.
in here. Exactly.
And it is likely that in the event it may happen to you as you journey
Yeah.
on. We don't say much, especially those of us in the church. Everything is faith. Everything
Mama
is
T, I'm coming to the church.
The church, they have
I'm
let
coming
us
to this
down.
church. I don't want
big
to do
time.
church things
Because the truth of the
way
matter is that-
I get
Yes.
attacked. Sometimes when we want to talk about church, now me person me can, but the way I do I want to be chama da pan.
Oh, me this is here. Them say
Oh, now
Mecca.
you're very man waje.
Mecca. What's so say be man bra me twa.
Mama T, don't hold back. Now we say we should be talking expectations, okay? What your home is going to look like, finances, very critical. And we said that it is too late if you have to start discussing these things in the marriage, which is what we always do anyway. Talk responsibilities, your goals, your aspirations. It's important to have these conversations. Now, can I make a future with this person? It's one thing that you should sit in silence and answer that question to yourself. You should answer that question and be very honest. And sometimes, Kobe said it, that women, for instance, we have reasons why we're getting married. And so it shouldn't be that because I am growing and I want to have children so that I don't continue to take care of children when I'm when I'm on pension. And so even when you realize that you cannot make a future with a person, you still want to go with it because you have other reasons that are overriding the most important reasons. Now, know yourself and who you are and who you want to do the future with. This person that you have zeroed in on, are you going to be able to do the future you envisage with the person? It's important. Your values are very, very, very critical. What do you believe in? What are your ideals? It's important that you are aligning them or discussing them to find a middle ground.
Most importantly, what are your deal breakers?
Great.
Yeah.
Talk about sex. We'll come
Yes.
there. Talk about money, career, and what will make you and make you happy. And why do I want to get married? I also added that you should talk individual ambitions.
Absolutely.
Okay. You should talk your ambitions. Talk self-actualization stuff. At the end of the day, we are married, but I am still an individual.
Yeah.
As an individual, this is where I would like to be in the next 5-10 years, even whilst we are married. And so if we want to be married and we want to have children in the next 2-3 years, and this is what I am also looking at doing, how do we merge them it's important to have this conversation. Talk fulfillment stuff, and look for your points of departure. That's what Kobe said, the deal breakers. We are not agreeing on this. You know that come the next 10 years, this thing you believe in, I will never be able to believe in it. Shall we still be able to live together if you and I don't ever find the middle ground to these things that we both don't believe in? There are so many things, there's so many work to be doing. But then when you look at it, you can tell honestly that we're not doing the work. We're focused on other things. So now, and it is important we do these things because I like that phrase about it will be too late to start having these conversations in the marriage. And the marriage is the thing. What you're going in is the marriage. So you need to prepare for it. However, we're paying attention to a lot of irrelevant things. And how do you call it? We're having heartbreaks over a lot of irrelevant things, So now I want us to zero in on some of the things that people are focused on now when they are courting. That is not important. I'll ask some of the questions. One, is it wrong, right? We said we should talk about sex. Is it wrong to sleep over even if you're not having sex? Because it is happening. Mama T, right?
I know,
It is happening in the church. We only act and pretend about it.
For the pretense,
And then they will come back pregnant and want the marriage to be blessed quietly, fast, yes. So people are sleeping over and doing things. And somebody will say that, look, I have dated this person for so long. Now we have transitioned into courting. And when we are courting, and especially so when you begin counseling, then you are talking where we will live, where we will do this and all that. Every once in a while, is it okay to sleep over, wake up in a big T-shirt and wear the big slippers, and then your hair is messed up and you're cooking breakfast and you go to the markets and then do all of is it wrong to do those things?
Yeah,
it's wrong.
Yes.
Hey,
I mean,
see, I'm an old
think
woman.
some people think moving in or sleeping over and staying there is going to show the man I'm ready for marriage and trap them. But when you start moving in, that is the time that it avoids, you don't get the time to talk about some of the things you should be having the conversations about. Because you've moved from where you're supposed to be to where you're not supposed to be. If you are living with me now, I mean, it starts becoming what you are normalizing.
Oh, like I'm not living with you, I come and go.
No, but some people move in. Some people also move in and,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
So
stay, or stay there
the
more
issue is not the
than-
location. It's not the moving in or coming to sleep over and going. The thing is that as soon as you start having sex, your judgment is clouded.
It's true.
And that is where the danger is.
But now
there's a reason why the Bible says we shouldn't have sex.
Kobe, Mama T, Ariel, let's be very
But
realistic.
that's why I was coming to a
How
but.
easy
So when they
is
said
it?
no,
It's not.
I was going to say that on hindsight, it's a yes and a no. I'll justify it. Let's carry on.
So don't bring in
Ariel, carry on.
Yes, it's a yes and a no. But yes, that is one of the stages moving in that prevents you from looking at it from outside.
See, the truth is, you see when you say moving in, that one day everybody will say it is wrong because we know you shouldn't move
But
in.
sleeping
That's
over.
why I talked about the sleeping overs.
But
So
if
no
you're
me
sleep-
shut down
if you're-
bet now.
If you're sleeping over, it means most often you do it. So
Okay.
it changes the whole relationship as well. It's no more courtship anymore.
So sleeping over, moving in, having sex,
It's all
it's
the
a
same.
no.
Adam, it is.
Please, which of you are doing these things? I'd like to know. 05511 and then you start repenting.
In today's world, it's difficult. It's truly difficult. I have a lady who made her value that I will not move in, I will not sleep over, I will not have sex. Now, it looks like that is becoming her hindrance in having a committed relationship.
Oh wow.
Because that is her value. So that area of value or that area of
No, you mean
courtship,
because her values are that I won't move in,
I won't move in,
sleep
I won't
over,
sleep over,
I won't have sex.
Yes.
The people are not taking her serious.
they take her serious, but they want those things as part of what they are doing now.
Yeah,
but
some
she
more.
doesn't want that.
Yeah.
So, as Osofo is saying, a lot of people.
Please, I'm not Osofo.
Oh, we have ordained you.
I am not
A lot of
Osofo. I don't want to be crying.
His name is Kobe. Why?
His name is
A
Kobe.
lot of people are doing it because that is what happens now. It's easy to do it and get to the next stage
Level.
of the courtship. Because, it's okay. Now people start working. They have their own place to live. They are not living with their parents. So it's easy to go there. We watch movie, and then we slept over. And, But some people too have decided they won't do it. And so, as we said, your values play a role in your
Absolutely.
relationship. Now, that can be what will keep you delayed in your expectation. But are you willing to live with it? But when you start getting anxious about your own values, then it means it wasn't your conceived position that this is what I have to do. You're doing it because, as we are saying, the church says don't do it. So where do you find yourself? Is it that if you do it, you'll be able to still create a healthy courtship to know and have those conversations? Or when you do it, you can't focus on having the conversation. So it becomes an individual choice. Whether you are going...
But ideally, it shouldn't be happening.
Ideally, it shouldn't be happening because it clouds your judgment. You give up on the things you should be looking at, the
out
red
for.
flags quickly before... you get married.
I get it, because as you go and sleep over now,
Sometimes you are just
you will
sleeping, but
see
you are not
things
doing
that
it.
you are
You're not supposed to
you will
see.
see things that you are actually supposed to see when you are in the marriage.
Yes.
And then that becomes the problem. Some of the things, Kobe, you should see them when you are in the marriage, and it
Yes,
is okay
me, when
like
you
that.
go and
Oh,
sleep
you
over,
see, that's why I said the yes and the no. I'll wait for my turn.
your turn. Okay.
Mama T, carry on.
So this is it, Adam. So I am old school, and because I am old school and I have been here for a very long time, this is what I know. You must be married before you do wife duties. You must be married before you become a husband.
Okay.
So I come and I sleep over.
Thank
We are
you.
not having sex, but I am waking up in the morning. I am cooking you breakfast
Yeah.
or making you breakfast. Do we cook or make breakfast? Don't worry. I am making you breakfast. Then I carry bag. I go to market. Market. I come and cook you. Them. I come and cook you lunch and
Yeah,
supper.
yeah.
I serve you
Yeah.
like what? I wash. I do all. I am doing a wife's
A wife's
duty.
duty.
It's called dress rehearsal.
Okay, you know too many things. then I am giving you chop money, whatever. And so I am doing a husband's duty.
Yeah.
And these are the things that
Yeah,
must
sure, school.
happen. That one, look, today I was coming to preach only on red flags. Adam, let me break your small protocol. And these are the things I have found over the years as I sit with young people who want to get married. I am looking at the wife duty and the husband duty.
Preach
and
on.
so at this point, you are. I was going to a shop to buy a phone for this cover last week. Then this young man his head was down. So I was like, hello. Then he lifted his head up. He was in tears. He was so soaked in tears. I said, oh God, what's up? I was surprised. So I went in. He was crying. He said, Mama, did you see the young lady who just passed? I said, who? Yes, I said, I saw her. This girl, I picked her from JSS 1. I took her through SS, then to nursing training. Right now, she came to say that, oh God, you have done well.
Another man down.
I beg you. I told him, do you have parents? I said, did your mother see this? I said, my mother liked her. Is it your duty to train another man's daughter to become a nurse while you are sitting at somebody's phone shop?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
didn't you take yourself to school? At least you
school.
went to SS. Why can't you go to school? Mama, this girl comes to me and
Kenya
says,
Bonio.
and Kenya Bonnie and the normal Christian brother and
The Kenya Bonnie.
sister, goodness.
Aye.
So you see, for when this marriage happens, it is compensation marriage.
Yeah.
If it happens,
Yes. Yeah.
I am marrying
Yeah.
to compensate
Yeah.
you because
Yep.
It's dangerous.
yes, and
It's
yes, Uncle
dangerous.
because I am ungrateful. At no point should anybody be felt that you are compensating me for what.
Yeah.
So this one, I am here, and then this is the talk. Every day is like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she's and please, if you are out there, young man, if you have money, go to school yourself.
Yeah.
Don't put. I am telling you, you can't say anything. Don't put any girl in apprenticeship and then she has become a madam and then she's looking at you like Listen.
Yeah, so team more than crying.
And yes, I have seen too
priorities
much.
are
I've
important
seen
too.
too much. This young man and this young lady, they are saying that, Mommy, we want to get married, so we have a property together. Which property? Why are you having properties together? Why are you having
you're
joint
not
accounts when you are not married? And what are you doing? What is
Okay,
that?
Mama T, hold on. So let's
You
go
know
through
how I'm
this
going.
thing. Let's go through this thing.
She's in overdrive.
So moving in, having sex, sleeping over, going to the market,
They are all
cooking
wife
breakfast, stocking the freezer, and all of those things are wife duties you
Yes,
shouldn't do.
Yes.
We're saying that you shouldn't be having a joint account together.
You don't.
You shouldn't buy a property together.
From where?
But you can prospect.
Yes.
You can prospect. Yes.
yeah, cow. But these things have happened over and above.
It is
oh.
happening. They are crying. A
And
young
the men
lady
too
came
should
to me
stop
and said,
giving chop money.
So you mean that you shouldn't take care of somebody in school if you are courting
well,
them?
what's the
Okay,
what
no,
are the
you are not
duties
taking
a
care of
parent?
them. You are supporting them to pay their fees.
Oh, she comes home. Hey, baby, please, I'm home.
Please.
Oh, can you give me 200? Yes.
Adam,
Bobby,
Adam,
wait. My
Adam,
school
that
fees,
one.
Hold on. My school fees is 10,000.
Uh-huh.
I have 7,000. Can you support me with 3,000? That one you shouldn't do it.
See.
You can help.
Me Debbie. See,
Kwabena says no.
me a bema, mamenka.
Can.
Yes. I like that.
Funny say, oh yeah, charity.
This is
Then you
short.
can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I'm
Respecting
talking
it.
Yeah.
about.
The person can
Because
be indebted to you
At
for
the
the rest
end
of their
of
life.
the day, they always turn out as ingrates.
Absolutely.
After you have finished looking after them, they choose someone else over you.
Yes.
Is it always the case?
Not always, but 70%.
80% of
Yes.
it.
Okay, so you have added 10%.
They always choose someone over you.
Oh, dear.
And in this specific case, when the guy was down there, and then that I want to marry you.
Yes.
So I want to prepare and
You
package
for-
you
yes.
for myself.
Yes.
So he would
For
spend
beautiful
on you.
future.
That is how we were taught as men
Yes.
in this side of the world. That we look after our women. But it doesn't seem as if the women understand that. So they think that you are some mumu I have gotten and I'm using. And after you have finished packaging her, now she looks at herself where you have placed her and feels that you are beneath her. So now she's going for someone
Could be the
who
reverse
is
is
above
also
her.
Oh, yes, certainly.
The reverse is also true. There are lots of women who have supported a lot of men. They get there and they feel like, listen, you're just an orange seller.
So what are we saying now? Don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay.
Because they will always turn out to be ingrates.
Okay. Hey! It's difficult too.
Yeah, another red flags I've seen over the years is the fear of being truly who we are when we are courting. And then we get married and now we can't truly be ourselves because while we were courting, we think we should please the other person and sacrifice ourselves, our needs, our wants, who we truly
Your
are.
joy, cry.
And it's because of this, expectation that I have to get married at this age, or if I have the man, I have to do everything for him to.
Then you become desperate.
And then you become desperate. And so fear clouds our judgment, and we don't honor our values in the relationship because I want to get married. And so everything I have to do to make him think I'm the right person, I do it. And we pretend we please the other person too much. And I'm not speaking just women.
Oh, no,
it's
all of
both
us.
ways. You start sacrificing your values, your needs, just to please the other person to think that, oh, if this person is doing all this, then he's going to see I'm the right person. But that never sustained the relationship in the future because you are not yourself. And I've seen a lot of women who are struggling now, or men who are struggling now because they never could tell this person, I wouldn't accept this. But they saw it when they were courting, but they want to please the other person, so they
shield
sacrifice
it.
to talk.
Great.
We don't talk.
It is the fear that
I
that
have a lot of
won't,
messages
that I
coming
won't
through.
this marriage. Somebody said, I called me midnight 4 days ago. She was crying. I said, young lady, why? Said about my boyfriend. She started to we are getting married in 2 months.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so what's happened? Then she told me a number of things. Have you asked him? Have you spoken about it?
Yeah.
She said, no. Why? I don't want to lose this relationship.
Yeah.
I so
I don't want to
love
lose
him.
I
must
don't want to
work
lose the
for us.
relationship.
And
That's
I
the
said,
thing we
but
say.
what is is your problem? This thing, as much as you are talking to me, it means that it is bothering you.
Yeah.
And if you don't work on this thing,
will
chief,
come back
Mami
again.
can tweak a cry. You see, Nancy Akumuno, or
When you
Daniel
finish, please
for
translate
Abekau. Translate for me. Literally, it's a saying that if you see a small spider, kill it. This spider will grow to become a scorpion to bite you. So let's nip things in the bud. From young men, from men who wants to get married to people, you are pleasing the girls too much. You are giving her too much. At the marriage, she's expecting you to continue the too much. She wants to help small. Oh baby, it's okay. You get married and then you're asking her to bring some help. Which help? You have told her you are very capable. You see, these are many things that we
That
are
is
not
why.
doing.
That is why I simply want us to break it down.
Yeah.
And look at things you should be doing and things you shouldn't be doing. As simple as that. What should you be doing and what should you not be doing at this stage? Because trust me, when you get into the marriage, if God is granting you 40 years to be in that marriage, you will do for 40 years. You have no choice. And so before those years, what should you be focusing on? Such that nobody said that if you focus on these things, it means that you're going to have a walk in the park in your marriage. No. It's still life. Marriage is life. So there still will be your issues. However, you would have been prepared somehow to be able to face them and deal with them and not let them overwhelm you. That's why we are having this conversation. What should you be focusing on? What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing now? That you will have to do a roundabout quickly from. I have a message here that says that mine is this meet and greet. You meet all friends and greet and do all sorts of introductions as well as attending all friends and family gatherings. When the thing doesn't work, then problem. I did that for 10 years. Now we are both married separately. Okay, you get what he's saying? His point is you shouldn't. So is that a point to note that you shouldn't be going everywhere and meeting everybody around you with the person?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing that as well.
Yes. So what he's trying to say is that you embed so much in the person's life and the person's family when you are not married.
Yeah.
That now, if the thing doesn't work, it becomes a problem for you because everywhere you go, you find someone who meets you, who knew you with this
With that
person.
person.
And then all of a sudden it's like, what are you doing here? Where is she? And now every day you have to explain to someone that it didn't work out.
So some of the places you wait until you're married.
Yes.
Then you start going
You start
to the
showing up,
places
yes.
together. So we should be very wise when it comes to where you want to
Yes.
go. Because you know
making
this is
going public to a certain extent.
not because you don't love the person,
Yes.
but because you should put it at the back of your mind that this is not marriage,
Marriage,
yet.
yes.
Okay, great. Good morning. Please, if you can't if you can't move in, no sex. Can you be taking money from your
You can.
You see, now the problem is that have no sex and don't sleep over, and
But you
this
want
most
money.
of the time applies to the women not doing it. Yet,
You want money?
and then we are saying, "Oh no, what's say about pepe na de nika?"
Ai, Nanka. What did I Nanka?
The first thing is my rent. The next one is my phone. The next one is my mother is sick. And if you don't help, Ninsedi, he's a stingy man. These are red flags for the future.
Yeah.
So men are blackmailed into financing the lifestyle of people they haven't married.
That's a very important question.
Yeah.
Please, I want to ask your panel. What am I supposed to do when I am in Accra and dating a man in another region? If I am not supposed to sleep over, how do we know ourselves very well when we both work and live in different regions?
So now can I have my yes or no moment?
I go
Yes,
and visit
please,
the
go
person.
ahead.
Where do I sleep?
So can I have my yes or no moment?
Yes, please.
Let me start with the no.
Oh my world, I'm loving
And I
this.
always come from a very principled position. There's a very good reason why God said we should not have sex before we marry. In 1 Corinthians 5, he describes it as anybody who has sex with a woman becomes one with the person. And he goes on to say that when you are having it with multiple people, you are joining yourself to a harlot. That is how he describes it. So there's a very good reason why he said we shouldn't have sex. Now, when you do have sex and you do multiple, it means you are joined to many people. And recently I watched a video, a reel on Facebook, and it was a woman who was explaining, and he said that if you're a woman and you have slept with 10 men, there's a 25% chance of your marriage surviving. And the reason is simple. You have joined yourself to too many men that you can never have sex with your spouse without comparing him to all of them.
Yes, it's true.
There
And
is a 25% chance your
of-
marriage will not be
No,
successful.
your marriage, there's only a 25% chance of your marriage being successful.
Oh, okay.
Now, the reason is that if you haven't had sex before and you get married to this person,
That is all you know.
whether he is good or he's bad, that is all you know. The chances of your marriage surviving is 80%, because other variables apart from sex would account for that 20%.
Yeah.
So those are the principles, and that is the reason why sleeping over exposes you to that risk of having sex. So it is not advised. It is the reason why the Bible said that do not have premarital sex.
So specifically to
Now
this
let's come back to the yes. Now that answers this one. During the period of courtship as well, let's all understand and agree that some people do lie,
Oh, yes.
and you can't do anything about
Lie,
it.
big lies.
and pretend.
And pretend. It is when that closeness and intimacy comes in, that is when you begin to discover who they are. So if I have the opportunity to walk to your house without telling you I'm coming, and I appear at 11 p.m., chances are that is when I'll meet the other man I'm competing with.
When you finish meeting, go home. Must you sleep?
So it becomes necessary. Now, some people, we all come from different homes. We were raised differently. You are going to marry a woman who comes out publicly and is well dressed, well mannered, everything, but is not cultured to make a home.
Yeah.
When the person gets the opportunity of visiting and probably sleeping over, that is when you get to see those things, because subai entise nyinsen ntimi mfensie we den ebepi. Those, as she keeps doing it, you get to know whether this person knows how to cook, knows how to clean. And you see, what we all forget or we don't think about, and I remember this, Reverend Kisiedu said this some many years ago. He said, we should be mindful of how we raise our children, because we would live with them for 25 years and they will have to spend the next 45 years with someone else.
Yeah.
And if you don't raise them well, they won't be able to live for 45 years with someone else. So if you don't see these things and deal with them, know that it is trouble that is waiting for you, because that person will not be able to raise your children to be able to be
Kobe, I
useful in the
still want
future.
us to answer the question specifically.
The
We're
one who
saying
lives
that,
out.
yes.
So
we're-
the yes part is that in this context, it is you can't do anything about it. Then you have to go and visit the person, and you have to live under the same roof with the person.
So is it only because it's a distance relationship? And when you go,
Even
hold
if
on.
the distance is not there,
Hold on.
it sometimes is necessary to do it. That's why I said yes, and no.
Okay, so then for me right now, it's becoming a bit confusing.
Yes.
Because if we are saying it's a no,
Yes and
it's
no,
a no.
then it's a no.
But if we're saying it's a yes and no, now who determines the circumstances under which
you
it is a
think
yes,
it's a yes.
and the circumstances
The
under
circumstances
which it is a
will
no?
determine it. The next thing that the circumstances will determine
Yeah,
it.
I think
The
I
next
see
thing that
where-
comes up is, what are your values?
Yeah.
Because you can actually live under the same roof with someone and still not have sex.
So is it, hold on, no. Now I'm getting
only
very
the
confused.
sex?
Is it just because someone asked a questions? When we say sex clouds one's judgment, I do not understand. This is from Anthony. He says, what about the act of showering the person with gifts? Why is the focus always on sex? Other things too cloud
Yes,
one's judgment.
yes.
And we've talked
not
about it a
always
little
the
bit.
sex.
So my question is that if we are sitting here right now, because people are learning, and we're saying that, listen, don't do wife and husband duties when you're not married. Then you know that sleeping over at somebody's house is husband duties, because you are husband and like you're doing couple duties, because
Yeah.
now you're sleeping together. And so where is the point of deviation You understand? If we're saying it's a no,
Yes.
then if I visit you in Wali Wali, I should sleep in a guest house in
Yes,
Wali Wali, and then we do the things we have to do, the most important things that we are talking about. I don't necessarily have to come and sleep in your house because we're saying that sleeping over may come with a lot of things, and that is the reason we say do not sleep over or do not move in. So where are we putting the points of deviation? Please think about it. I will be back.
And pray God get rid of him. And now I'm going to school.
And Yum Vita instant cereal with milk is fortified with NutriV, which contains 16
It changed.
essential vitamins and minerals, including zinc, iron, and calcium, to aid in baby's healthy growth. It comes in 3 delicious flavors: maize and wheat, rice and wheat variants, and 3 unique pack sizes: 50 gram. It also comes in the 50 gram, 400 gram tea, and 350 gram block bottom pouch. Get the pack size that best suits your family needs. Yum Vita, a delicious way to grow.
Team. I had all the skills it took to make it, but on my grades I would get nothing but all D's. And the coach came to me and had a talk.
And when we talk of spices, then it is Sankofa natural spices made in Ghana with no chemicals added. I beg your pardon. If you love your health and want to live well and long, then it's about Sankofa. Our forefathers lived well and long. And this is because every food they ate was natural with no chemicals. So why would you add chemicals in the name of spices to your natural food? Sankofa natural spices is made with our own prekese, esrowisa, efomwisa, and inkitin, and many more. Sankofa natural spices is 100% natural. No salt, no sugar, no chemicals, and no monosodium. Too much salt and sugar in your food can be harmful to your body. Sankofa natural spices comes in different varieties: jollof, stew, fish soup, chicken and beef, curry, ginger, garlic, spaghetti, and noodles. And the price is very affordable. Don't play with your health and your life. Choose Sankofa natural spices for your tasty and healthy meals. Sankofa natural spices, DDE, and for bulk purchase you can call 0555603143, 0555603143. Remember, your health is your wealth. Sankofa natural spices, DDE. Yay, our Dance at 10 anniversary trip is really vibing, and we can't thank you enough. Our chartered flights on Emirates is fully booked. Qatar and UAE combo and all Europe trips are also sold out already. But there is still very good news. We have secured a few seats on Emirates to Dubai departing 13th and 15th August with rates starting from only 1,650 per person. Also available are the following exciting combos in August and September: Nairobi and Dubai with Doreen Nando, South Africa, Victoria Falls and Livingston with Lexus Bill, Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia with Kwame Dazi, West Africa road trip to Togo and Benin. And you see, there is no excuse not to travel this summer. And there is also the Kigali and Dubai trip with George Quay. Enjoy free pass to a Dance at 10 gala dinner in Accra if you book by the 25th of July. Just send hi to WhatsApp number 05938570002 or call 05563100404 or visit adancetravels.com. Seats are limited, so grab yours now. At Dance at 10, it's a vibe. Feel life's beauty with us this summer. Enrich your breakfast with the nourishing goodness of Dano Milk Cool Cow Instant Powdered Milk. The rich taste of Dano Milk makes a perfect combination with your tea, oats, cocoa, and many others. It gives you that great tasting breakfast you've always desired. Dano Milk Cool Cow is fortified with vitamin A, and is also a good source of protein and nutrients such as vitamin B12 and iodine to help keep you nourished and strong always. Dano Milk is affordable and in a shop near you. Choose Dano Milk today for your nourishment and build your strength every day. Dano Milk, go for it. This advert is FDA approved. if you're having challenges with your eye, look no further. Amasha Partners Limited has it all. Your eyes deserve the best care and quality designer eyeglasses. And Amasha Partners and Eye Care, they undertake the following services and they're always there for you. Supply of designer frames, sight testing, supply of lenses, sunglasses, contact lenses, ophthalmologist in attendance, and general treatment. Locate us at La Opsa Trade Fair, Spinters, adjacent ICGC, before Community 18 Junction, McCarthy Hill, the opposite Benjay Lodge. North Kaneshi, Swan Lake, opposite Greenhand Junction, Achimota. You can locate them in the Densua Plaza on the 2nd floor. Sakrade Axim, opposite CBG Bank Hall, they're opposite the Housing Junction. Kumasi, they are at the airport roundabout. And when you go to Kolibu, you will find them opposite the ECG. And then on the Central Hospital Road in Koforidua. Inside Meridian Plaza in Tema, Community 1. Numbers to call 0302 939 and 0302 778827. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I have been talking to my guest, Mama T. Kobe, and the wellness coach. What have we been talking about? What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing whilst you're cutting? What are you doing? When we come back, I will recap, take some of your messages, and then get some more thoughts from my guest.
Vita is fortified with Nutri-V, which contains 16 essential vitamins and minerals, including zinc, calcium, and iron for your baby's healthy growth. Young Vita, a delicious way to grow. This advert is FDA approved.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo all-in-one for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids all-in-one. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
Mamba cho mi pie meba sesie.
When we say me ye aduane, we say me kokuru maba. Akaga tru ne garlic na ma wo hu egu asanga no.
Tima ya na me hihye me nsa. Me mpese be bubu.
Spices. Omia, natural. Eno. Na be dintina, abena wemu na enyim da.
Mankasa no ho. Me so ntru akakadu na garlic nfa mam. Na wemu na enyim da me yo.
Na tiwala ndem yi so. What you spices to asanga.
Me pemi bibia natural.
Anti sankofa natural spices. Anti nanka. Also, the Maranka Samip makes the naturality. Some copper natural spices, and none of you. It's him, preservatives in him, and young person, you put how to put in a what year. Catadu and Katanket, bracket, or yet the electric Bibiala. Some copper natural spices. So I'm not sure, Kasa. It's you will be them to the sea. This year, membre, Benjamin Bibia natural.
Sankofa natural spices, proudly Ghanaian.
In Kratsui, FDA Appendo.
If you get LPG, let me see your hand. Who are gas?
Mr. Menu, I'm not happy with you, cry.
Oh, landlord, what is it?
Me, what is the problem? How can you allow your wife cook with charcoal and firewood? Don't you know smoke is harmful to your wife? Don't you have gas?
Oh, landlord, me, I've been using charcoal since.
You're not current at all. Now, every Ghanaian uses gas because it's safe and convenient. Just one matchstick, and you're good to go. Food cooks faster, and the taste is retained.
Hey, landlord, be that.
You think I'm joking, eh? New rule, no gas, no accommodation. Even you just paid your rent, eh? And my friend, come for your money and leave my house.
Hey, landlord, if you make a mistake and you give me this money, I'm not going to move. I'm going to buy gas.
Like you will see.
Don't be left out. LPG is safe and convenient. This campaign is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and supported by the Ministry of Energy and World Bank. Contact our toll-free number 080-012-300 for more information.
Oh dear, it's so unfortunate. Like you're having very good conversations, and then time has just run away. There's a question here that says that, or there's a statement, or it says, "I disagree with a yes and no man." Yes and no man. Our parents got all those answers without having to sleep over because the families did proper research and background checks. These days, people start sleeping before the families even know it. Everything is like fast food. Everything is here and now. So people want to get rich quick, have sex quick, marry quick. They so don't allow the right preparations to be done, and is the reason we are where we are. We need to look at what our forefathers did and stop copying these Western lifestyles. No wonder that now they are bringing us man marries man and woman marries woman. The Arabs have very strong family bonds, and these things have not infiltrated their cultures. Our fathers and mothers did it. The Arabs still do it. So we can do it too. We simply need to stop copying everything Western, like, hook and sinker. And I tend to totally agree. My time is up. I'm going to assure our audience that, look, we have, like, the questions are a lot. This has generated a lot. So we are going to pack all the questions. Make sure you are at the Single Summit. We're going to answer all these questions. There's actually a part 2 to this conversation, but it will be had there. So make sure you are making a reservation on 059 5555. No, now I'm getting confused. 05. Okay, I'll just remember the number. But quickly, let me come to you and take your final words in a minute each so we can wrap up on today. But then there's so much more we have to talk about.
Still looking at values. If you choose a long distance relationship, that is your trouble. Those are the things you have to go through.
Exactly.
Yes. So long distance relationship has always been difficult. If you want to live at Insamom and your boyfriend is living at Boliga, that is your trouble. Oh, okay. You see me. I am saying that long distance relationships has always been difficult. If you choose to have a long distance relationship, these are some of the things you are going to do. We are talking values, and the values are that this is what I believe in. This is what I stand on. Come high waters, come whatever. This is what I have. And listen, our young people are doing too much nonsense sex, and in the name of courtship, and then at the end of the day, you see, I mean, she force say or don't dim. Some of us people when dim, and you know when there is even the time that this thing won't work, they are getting broken heart, broken liver, everything because they want to dim. Please, young men, no girl is your project till you have said yes at the court or wherever. Let her parents take care of her. Young lady, you don't owe any young man, your boyfriend, anything till both of you are willing to say yes.
Mama T, please don't forget this. On that day, you will explain to us the nonsense sex, what it is.
Yes. Somebody told me that his wife doesn't know how to do Ghana flag.
It's okay.
Hey. Yes.
Okay. Let's take your final words.
See, I would also go along the values line. Because at the end of the day, your values make you.
True.
Yeah. So I'll stick with the values line. The principle is no. The yes makes it contextual.
Great.
And the situations around it is what will define. But even if it has to happen, your values will make all the difference.
All right.
So stick to your values.
Stick to your values. And from you, Ariel?
Okay, so what I'll say is that don't live your life now as with your partner as if they are the only person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And live your life as you would when you're married now, if you're single. Don't make all your social life about your partner. Know your hobbies and be about them. Say no and mean it. Communicate your limits and your deal breakers and your truth. And don't be afraid to be alone. I think the fear of being alone makes us try to solve everything and overlook things. Learn to be alone and to like it. There's nothing more empowering than being your own friend.
Yes. Great.
So don't rush it.
I like that, being your own friend.
Be your own friend.
I have a message from here that says that Adam, he says, I haven't moved in, but I sleep over.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Most of the red flags can only be seen and noticed when you sleep over. So the argument that one shouldn't sleep over is flawed. Like we have said, it's an issue of values. And I was asking, seriously, you go and visit the person during the day. You go out, you have your conversations, everything, blah blah blah. The time that you are